Hello, good morning all of you. I am Anuja. Welcome to my class. Today we are going to learn about methods. A method is basically a set of statements that can perform a specific task. Methods are immensely useful in Java because it can provide flexibility to the program. It saves time as the user can reuse the same methods repeatedly multiple times. One of the best features of Java is that the programmer can use a piece of code multiple times. So using methods, we can enable this feature. There are many reasons to use methods. Here I am briefing two main reasons. One is code reusability, the second one is reducing complexity. So the first one is code reusability. Methods can be reused in a program without rewrite the same code multiple times. Thus it avoids the duplication of the code and helps in reusability. The second reason, reducing complexity. Methods provide the facility to divide a larger or complex program into parts which can be called as it required. This feature helps the programmer to deal the complexity of the code, and it helps the programmer to debug the programs easily. So these are the main reasons here included. Okay. Next one, the types of method. Methods can be divided into two categories. The first one is predefined method. Second one is user-defined methods. Predefined methods means that methods are already defined in Java class libraries by the Java system developers. So it is known as built-in methods or library methods. Java has a huge collection of predefined methods that has defined under different classes. Mathematical expression related functions are defined under math class. So if you want to find the square root of a value, then we can use the statement math.sqrt of that value. Here I have given an example, math.sqrt of 25. So it will return the output as 5. If you want to find the power value, math.pow of 2, 3. That is, it returns the first argument, rise to the second argument, and we will get the answer as 8. So sqrt and pow are the predefined methods that is defined under math class. So mathematical related functions are defined in math class. This math class belongs to java.lang package. All of you know when we are writing a Java program, we need to import a package. So java.lang is a default package. If you want to use any mathematical expression in a program, we don't want to import this package. That is, the programmer or the user doesn't want to specify this package because this is a default package. Default package means this package will automatically import to the program by the compiler. So you have a question of 2 mark, name the default package, that is java.lang. Which package contains math class or mathematical predefined function? Java.lang package. Okay. Not only for numeric values, for character and string operations also can be performed by using various predefined methods. So the next one is user-defined methods. Okay, the next method is user-defined methods. User-defined method means a user is defining a program. A method is defined by a user or a programmer is known as user-defined method. So the general syntax, we have a syntax to write a method. So let's check. Access specifier, return type, method name, parameter list. Open the curly brackets. Inside that we will write the statement that should be executed for this method. So this is the general syntax to write a method or to define a method. While considering methods, we have 3 steps. The first one is method prototype. Method prototype is the first line of method definition. Yes, before that, here I am giving an example for this method definition. So I need to write a method. I need to define a method. It will display a message of welcome. I need to define a method. It shows a message as welcome. So let's see how we are writing that method. First one is the access specifier. All of you know there are 3 types of access specifier: public, private and protected. Access specifier means that indicates the accessibility of this method throughout the program. So we will write here public is the access specifier. So the next one is return type. Return type can be defined as 2 types. One is void return type, another one is return type. Void is not return type. Another one is primitive data as data types as return type. So here I am just writing public void. So access specifier public, return type I have given as void, method name you can give. I am just giving a method name as display. There is no parameter I am passing in this method. Opening the curly brackets, inside that my task is system.out.println and displaying the message welcome. So this is the method definition. So this method defined as to print a message as welcome. So it has an access specifier, it is optional. It has a return type that is compulsory. It has a method name that is also compulsory, with or without parameter list. That is according to the program. So inside the curly brackets we have given system.out.println welcome. So this is method definition, or this is a method. So entire this block is known as method definition. This all together is known as method definition. We are defining a method based on the syntax. So that is known as method definition. And that is known as method definition. The next one is method prototype. Method prototype is the first line of the method definition. Method prototype is the first line of method definition. That is public void display is the method prototype here. So one more word is there, method signature. Method signature means method name along with the parameter list is known as method signature. Method name along with the parameter list is known as method signature. So method prototype means that is the first line of method definition. Method signature means that is the part of method prototype. That means it is indicating the name of the method along with the parameter, including the data type of the parameters. Okay. So in the 3 steps, the first 2 we learn. First one is method prototype, that is the method, the first line of the method definition. Method definition, we will define a method or a task as per the syntax. We will follow the syntax to define a method. The next one is the third one, method invocation, that is known as method calling statement. Once we define a method, we need to call this method whenever it required. When it required, we need to call this method. By that way, we are reducing that complexity, and by that way, we are avoiding the duplication of code. Okay, the next one is the function can be defined using any one of these forms. That is, one is non-return type or other is return type. While we discussed about the general syntax and while we defined a method, how we have done example here, public void display. That is the method has given or written in the previous session. So here we have written that message system.out.println to print a message as welcome. So this is method definition, and here this is the access specifier, that is not compulsory. This is the return type, that is the data type of the method. The data type of the respective method is the return type. So we can define a method in either one, or first one is non-return type or the second one is return type. Non-return type means this method, that method doesn't return any value. That is a concept of non-return type. So for indicating non-return type, we will use the keyword, that is, the keyword is void. We have to use the keyword void to represent non-return type. So void means it doesn't return any value to the calling function. It doesn't return a value to the calling function. So this is the first one, non-return type. So method can be defined in either one way. The first one is non-return type. In non-return type, we will use the keyword void. Void means it doesn't return any value to the calling statement. It doesn't return any value from this method definition. That is the concept of, that is a use of void keyword. So this is an example for void. The second one is return type. In this return type, we can use, instead of void, we are not using void there. Return type means it has to return some value to the calling statement. So return type means all the primitive data types, 8 primitive data types, all the primitive data types along with the string we can use as return type, classes and objects also we can use as return type. So as per our syllabus, we need to focus only for primitive data type and string. Okay. So return type means the return type is indicating the type of that method, and return type means that are the primitive data types, and the string we need to use for the return type. So also the non-return type. So method can be defined using any one of the four. The first one is non-return type, second one is return type. Non-return type means the function which uses the keyword void as a function data type and it doesn't return any value. It never returns any value from it. So this is the concept of non-return type. Just take the example of this one for this void, that is non-return type method. So this method without parameter we have given. I will give one more example with parameter. Let's check. Okay, so here I have written two methods. One is without parameter, another one is with parameter. Okay, let's discuss. Here public void is the return type, and that is non-return type. Void means it doesn't return a value to the statement. So inside the show method, we need to do the calculation of two integers that are initialized inside the method. So a is equal to 6 and b is assigned as 5 in this method, and c equal to a plus b. We are displaying the message sum equal to that particular value. So this is the method defined as show, and the return type of this method is void. We know void means doesn't return a value. We'll write the system.out.println statement, print the calculated value. Okay. So the same concept we will write using the parameter here without parameter. So in the second one, public void show of two integers sum we are finding. So we are passing that two integers as a parameter of this method. So you will write int x comma int y, any variable you can take. So but here you have to be careful when you are writing multiple arguments in a method. When you are considering multiple arguments, you have to separate by the comma operator. Int that and respective data type of each parameter you have to specify. So int x comma int y, two parameters we have passed. Then inside the method we have given the calculation part alone, z equal to x plus y by declaring the variable z. Then we are printing a message of sum equal to this plus z we are printing it. So here in this two are non-return type. These two are non-return type, that means it doesn't return a value. So how we are writing the value or how we are giving the statement to print? We need to give a println statement to get displayed the value that is calculated inside the method. Okay, so this is the non-return type. Non-return type means always non-return type means only one keyword we need to use, that is void. Void means it doesn't return any value to the calling statement. So this is method definition and this is also another method definition. And all of you know this is known as method prototype. The first line of method definition is known as method prototype. Here this is the method prototype. Yes. And which is method signature here? Show is the method signature and show of index comma int y is the method signature of that particular method. Okay. Then next we will move to the return type method. That is, the return type method means other than void, all other primitive data type and the string, classes, objects also can included as return type method. So instead of this void, we will write the primitive data type. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's look return type method. So instead of in non-return type, we will specify with the void keyword. So these two are the examples for non-return type. With parameter and without parameter. Next we are going to discuss about the return type method. And return type we have specified as primitive data types as and string, classes and objects. And here as per our syllabus we have to focus for primitive data types and string. In the case of ICSE, when we are going to ISC, we have to focus on classes and objects return type. Okay. Yes. So instead of this void return type, instead of this void, we are considering the return type method. So just imagine we are considering the sum of two integer values. So which data value should be returned? Integer value we are considering to add. So the same integer value we need to use as the data type or the return type of this method. This method means it is the sum of two integers. We are calculating the sum of two integers. So instead of void, here we have written int, integer data value. So after calculating the integer value, after calculating the sum of these two values, it has to return as the same data type, that is int data type. That is the integer data type. So what we have to write here? Public int method name. Int is the return type or the method data type of this method. It will return the value as integer data. And in this calculation we have integer a equal to 6 and b equal to 5 and c. And in c we are calculating the sum of a and b. So in this c variable we are having the value as 6 plus 5 equal to 11. Is it? Yes. So the next one, instead of the println method, we have to use the statement, return statement. We need to use the statement return. And can you guess what we have to return? Yes, exactly, value, the calculated value that is saved in the particular variable, that variable has to be returned to the calling statement. So we will write the variable return C. So this is the return statement. When we are considering any return type data, return type method, it has to return the corresponding data value with the variable. Okay, with the value or the variable. So here in this method definition, instead of void, we have changed to integer. Why we have changed to integer? Because we are calculating the integer value sum, and that sum is storing in the integer variable C. That's why it has to return in the same data type. That's why we have given int as the return type. And we have to mention this point. This is very, very important. When we are considering a data type of return type, when we are considering a return type method, we should write this statement, return that particular value or the variable. Okay. So what is the use of this return statement? Return statement, yes, I will explain what is the use of return statement. Before that, we will go and finish that program or that method. Instead of this void, we are writing, instead of this void, we are writing int data type, because we are calculating the sum of two integer variables, integer parameters that we have passed in this method. So we are getting the value as z that belongs to integer data type. So we are writing the data type or return type as int. Then we don't want to write the system.out.println. If it is in the case of void, we should write. So we don't want to write this system.out.println. Instead of what we have to write the statement return statement. Return statement is specifying with the return type and which value is having the which one is having the calculated sum. Is it is having the calculated sum? So you have to write a return insert. Okay, this is the way you can easily identify, or you can write the method, or you can define a method based on return type and non-return type. Okay, in the case of non-return type, we don't want to specify the return statement because it doesn't return any value. But in the case of return type, that is any primitive data type or the string data type is specified in the method, then definitely we need to use the statement return. Return statement we need to specify to return the value to the calling statement. Okay, because this data type is having some value to return to the calling statement. Okay, the next one we need to know about what is the use of return statement. Okay, next let's have a look on return statement. So this second example I have kept here. So with this integer arguments and the return type as integer. So return type method has defined here and it is returning the value insert with the return insert statement. So let's look. Return means that is a keyword. Keywords are reserved words that have special meaning with the compiler. So it has two uses. Return statement is having two uses. One is it returns a value to the calling statement. It transfers control back to the method calling statement. These are the uses of return statement. And the next method invocation is the third one that we will do in the next video class. So as a quick revision, which are the points we have covered in this video? About method. What is a method? What are the reasons to use methods? Then while writing a method, we have to follow 3 steps. The first one is method prototype, method definition and method invocation. And you have to know about the general syntax of writing method or to define a method. And method definition means when we are comes under method definition, we can define a method in 2 ways. One is non-return type, then second one is return type. So return type means it has to return a value by using the return statement, that is compulsory. Then in the case of non-return type, that is void, it doesn't want to return any value. It never returns a value from the function definition to the method calling statement. So the method prototype means that is the very first line of method definition. And one more term we have discussed about method signature, that is the name and the parameter along with the data type considered as a method signature. The next one is the return statement. What are the uses of return statement? Return is a keyword. It returns a value to the calling statement, then it transfers control back to the calling statement immediately and returns only one value at a time. Okay, these are the points we have included in this class. Hope all of you understood. Those who have any doubts, please comment, and thank you for watching. Stay safe all of you.